the split push coming out of Maxim because of the rotations now, and it's going to favor ALG in the mid, but they're sacrificing their tower on the left-hand side.
I feel like the mid-tier 1 tower is important because it just unlocks access to so much of your own jungle.
It definitely is going to be able to favor ALG here, but the question is now, Max sitting at level 14, Ocean still 13, and now he's getting more of a power spike. We see him back into base, finishing off the Ichabod, and now he could be looking for more of these boxes. Would be once.
Yeah, if I was Maxim right now, I'd like to see him kind of step up his aggression. Let's try and get a kill on his Nami. I think he can pull it off. Xingwei's very powerful against that matchup. You want to dash in, and as his Nami uses the invis, you just can read where he goes, get the auto attack off, and then just use your passive to hunt him down.
So at the beginning of the game, we saw a lot of action at the start on the right side of the map, and now I'm expecting it to slowly transition into this gold tier now. This is the timing window for these hunters to start taking off. And now with this tier 1 tower down the left, tier 1 down in mid, there's going to be a lot of space control for both teams to be able to maneuver themselves as long as they have that important ward coverage.
Yeah, expand on that a little bit for me. How important is vision control in these types of games?
Well, whenever you have an Ares, you want to be able to hide around the corner, look for those chains. If you force the get shield just before your Ares chains, now you can have Ymir coming around the corner, look for that important freeze, catch one target out of position, maybe look for a wall as well, and then the rest of your team can easily capitalize.
2-man series there from Kikimir. Rogue blinks in. There's the ultimate as well. He jumps over the wall into the middle of ALG, and now LG Direwolves are taking the fight to ALG. Polar Bear might rolling away. Rogue extremely low there. Cyclospin picks up the kill. They're looking for a Cheetah. Massive comes down from the sky. Wigan crashes down onto Richard Castle, doesn't land the chain. Still so much damage there with the chain lightning. Cyclone spins around the back. Polar Bear Mike just sitting there as a shield watch. Cyclone picks up Mac and weaks it. Picks up Richard Castle. Kiki picks up the return kill. Actually, it's so Cheetah. And Cheetah's got himself a double.
2 for 4 already so far. Trying to go for the third one. Stealth is so low. He did so much in the team fight. The jump not going to connect, but it did see them for a little bit. Now, Deicide, Allegiance now finally finding something back into the game despite losing that earlier goal fury.
What a beautiful slow there from Oceans. Cheetah knocked up 2 members and was chasing down Stealth, but Oceans hit him with a slow there, so he couldn't catch up to MLC Stealth.
Stealth did so much work in that team fight, getting off so many chain lightnings, so many detonates. He found them. He basically eliminated Roe at the beginning of that team fight.
Yeah, that was incredible. What an amazing team fight to watch. Really one of the best we've had in the tournament. And LG Direwolf, nothing to be unhappy about. A very close fight. Lots of low targets. A bit better shot calling, a bit better target calling, and they could have easily come out.
And more importantly than Stealth being able to do the damage, it was PBM that was able to really peel for Stealth with those shields, with those knockups, making sure nobody from Direwolves is going to touch his mid-mage suits.
One thing I've been surprised at is that Polar Bear Mac's been able to kind of keep up in farm with Richard Castle despite going marking the Vanguard and not getting Watcher's Gift.
No, definitely that's an interesting fact as well to point out. And that's also because of the fact that, the goal here was taken earlier on now, but with the respawn coming around for 1 minute 15 seconds, unfortunately that DSI was at a slightly misfortune timing, but I'm sure they're going to be able to happily take that, being able to cut the lead because they were almost down 2,000 gold, and now they're only down about 100.
Yeah, it was a really nice comeback by them, and Oceans with a great rotation. Didn't get any kills, but he had such a great damage output, and that's really impressive.
I'm really expecting a lot more out of LG Direwolves. They have to be a little bit more careful about being out of position because we saw how PBM was able to initiate that through the wall, but now being left in a 1v2 spot, Kiki using his ultimate, but a nice sanctuary out of Weekend just still punching this Ice Giant.
Kikimir just staying alive for as long as possible, trying to buy time for his team. No Gold Fury available, so they can't take that while he's being ganked here. Wigan picks up the kill there. He used his ultimate. I feel like perhaps he didn't need to.
I don't think he needed to either, but he wanted to be able to make sure he confirmed the kill. But now on the left-hand side, Maxon 1v1 against Oceans. Ultimates are being traded, but now Maxon having to back off. He's going to be able to utilize that passive to get back in position. And more importantly, maybe start the goal. And recognizing this is Oceans, and he's trying to get a position because the respawn is in less than 10 seconds.
That Ymir gank was crazy. That was a long gank, and I'm surprised there was no rotation from LG Direwolves on that. It seems they kind of just expected him to die and didn't really try and counteract.
The timing of it allowed maybe for Direwolves to look for a counter gank at the very least. They did force out the ultimate, at least out of Weekend, to be able to get that factor, but the Ymir ultimate was used. However, there is a bunch of CDR on his side, so he's going to be able to get that a little bit more quicker. So we'll see if there's going to be a little bit of a trade-off here. So there's going to be a standoff around this goal.
Cyclone Spin chucking out that umbrella right there, not finding a target. He's looking for Ro. He's just forcing away LG Direwolves, not giving them any vision of this Gold Fury as ALG decide to deward.
And this is what you have to do as a solo laner. Just zone out the enemy opposition, especially around the Gold Fury. Absorb these cooldowns. It doesn't matter because you can also utilize your Geb Shield to be able to negate a lot of this damage over time. Getting the Gold Fury under half. Nobody here from Direwolves to contest.
They need to re-engage here. Polar Bear Mike though blinks in, gets the Cataclysm ultimate. He's being chunked down now by Max and Weekend. He's got his ultimate back. Richard Castle though gets the no escape on, pulls in Polar Bear Mike. Weekend and knocks up two, especially most importantly on the Maxon. No fear, no evil there from Ro. Weekend forced to dash away here. Ro's so low, trying to get the kill onto Oceans. He can't. Cyclone's got a double onto LG Direwolves.
It was a great job from Allegiance finding the gold there, so they're able to walk away now. Not losing Oceans was so key, but they're not done yet. Kiki finding the freeze, but it's a 3-on-4 now. The wall being able to cut off TBM. Cyclone Spin, though, he's in a little bit of an awkward position. The ultimate is being challenged, but it's not enough damage. It's only a level 14 Ymir with no real offensive items.
Look where Weekend went there. He went immediately and invaded the speed buffer of Direwolves, so Ro's not going to have that when he respawns.
And this is so perfect because he extended that to the back left. The back right Harpies is still stripping away the jungle side, so extending that advantage, being down 2,000 gold earlier on. Now Allegiance has a 2,500 goalie. This is the AOG that we know to expect to see because before, earlier on, losing to Lich, before that, when they made this new roster, they have not lost a game. They went undefeated in the Gauntlet and they went undefeated in Super Regionals.
3 words really, Polar Bear, Michael. Some of these shields, these fights could be whitewashed by LG Direwolves. They are definitely hitting every single one of their ultimates, every single one of their abilities, but once again, Polar Bear Michael, shield after shield after shield, just completely protecting his team.
And this is why he opted to go for the breastplate of Valor very early on, recognizing the fact that he's against a Ymir and an Ares, two guys that you definitely have to make sure you have the shield for at a very regular basis.
Continuing on the theme of builds here, talk to me a little bit about this ritual dagger being picked up by Kiki Ymir on the side of LG Direwolves.
Well, it was going to be able to pick up, but I did see that actually, the ritual dagger from Kiki, but he did sell it, picking up the wing blade, which is a little bit more optimal for Ymir because of how immobile he is. He needs to have that movement speed, get that 300 health online, just to be able to absorb a little bit more abilities.
Yeah, we'll help him get out of that Zeus ultimate, which is where he's kind of really getting focused down here. Help him run away from the Romana as well, which is, I think it's a really good item choice, actually. I think even maybe Ares should pick one up if it's possible.
Just to be able to get in position to find those shades, hide around those corners. But now Cyclone's going to look at him. He's in a 1v2 spot. He's just bullying Ro away.
Good wall there from Kiki, but yeah, exactly right. Cyclone's been, one of these players not afraid to kind of show off his lead and fight 1v2.
Especially when he has a 3-level lead against his Ymir opposition. 0-4, unfortunately, for Kiki. Trying to find his way back into the game. It's not something you really want to be as a Guardian Soul laner. You don't want to be this far behind.
Again, great Geb shields from Polar Bear Mike there, just keeping the damage away from his teammates. Not even been using them necessarily in life-saving situations, but just to reduce the amount of initial damage they take.
He has nothing to really worry about when he's paired up with Cyclone's been playing this Mamana. He's going to be able to absorb so much damage with that Spirit Sword, with a Breastplate of Valor, almost finishing off the Wing Blade. Great jump from Mochita, preventing the stun from coming out. But now, it seems that Allegiance, they really want to start playing aggressive with this lead, at least in the solo lane.
A big talking point for me would be, again, the lack of a mage. It's something we touched on in their last game, and they've gone to Nike mid there. Is it costing them in the team fights? We see a lot of people getting away on low HP. Is that as a result of not having this big burst AoE mage? When you look at Zeus' damage, he's topping the trumps.
And it does seem that way because there's no magical defense really on this side of Allegiance because it's not necessary. You have a Ymir that's slightly under leveled compared to Cyclone Spin, right? He doesn't have any offensive items. And then you have Ares level 13 as support role. Obviously, he's going to be building into a more tanky spot. Reinforced Greaves, Mark of the Vanguard, and Thomas.
Left-hand side, big cast 4, but Allegiance getting a good flank maneuver on here. Richard Castle gets 2 chains to prevent the rollout, and the dash from Weekend. Ro jumps over the top here. MLC Stealth looking to get a chain lightning off. Ro actually had to blink over that wall to get away.
He was very worried about getting initiated on, so using that defensively, that's huge potential now taken away from LG Direwolves. They don't have that offensive blink for a good 100 seconds.
Maxim here trying to fight towards the left-hand side. Ocean's going to take the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side away from LG Direwolves. Mid lane, again, Cyclone's been here just 1v2. No fear whatsoever, pushing LG Direwolves back towards their own base.
ALG now with over a 3,000 goal lead. They're grouped up around this tier 2, between the tier 2 mid and tier 2 left-hand side. Being able to knock up Richard Castle, though, going to walk away. They got off a little bit of poke, and that's all they really wanted.
They want to prevent Richard Castle from going in, frontlining, and initiating for his team. They want to get him to low HP with the lack of sustain on either of these teams means that poke is so much more important in this game than compared to others.
And at that point, if he blinked in with half health, they would just burst him down during the no escape, no problem, especially with how much less mobility he gets during that ability.
Absolutely, and you see Oceans there with the 007 score, James Bond himself, the one he sees out of NA. I'm really liking MLG's self-build there. Nice defensive, keeping himself alive, and he hasn't died yet.
He's doing a great job, being very useful in these team fights, but now Blink Cataclysm out of PBM, Richard Castle's getting very low, and this is what we were talking about. He's just getting taken out immediately.
Oceans gets the kill there. Fino Evil from Row as well, just to try and peel for his team, jumping over the wall, but Polar Bear Mike's chasing him out, while Cyclone Spin chases out Max, and that's a lot of the damage for LG Direwolves. Cheetah forced to jump into his CS3 tower, doesn't have his ultimate available here, so he's very vulnerable, knocked up here, 5 men from ALG. Cyclone Spin picks up another kill. Tier 2 tower on the left-hand side is going to fall, and that should be a free goal Fury for Allegiance.
2 for nothing, no problem for the boys out of North America, now extending their goal lead even further after this objective has been complete. They're able to really dominate this mid to lake, and this has been a different team than we've seen against Lich.
Exactly right. They're seeming to... I guess maybe it was a little bit of nerves. Like they were talking about in the analyst desk, a lot of these players haven't played in front of necessarily such a big crowd before.
It seems that way, you would think, but during Super Regionals, it didn't seem like they had any nerves at all. They were just shouting at their opposition. They're a very vocal team that's not afraid of anybody, I would say. I just think that they were surprised more than anything against the raw pick coming out of Lich. But now look at this. LG Direwolves, they want to get back in the game, and they're trying to force this Fire Giant.
Cyclo spins here. He slows Row. 4 levels below the solo laner from Allegiance. He needs to back away very quickly.
And with that, that's going to be able to stop LG's Direwolves' intent to slowly get back in the game. Great recognition from Allegiance. The fact that they have to respect the double rounds, even though they are on cooldown, you always have to assume that they're ready and available, especially with the burst damage coming out of that Ymir ultimate.
Yeah, the problem they're having as well is they just can't kill Zeus, right?
They can't get him.
Yeah, they just can't deal with him, and the Gap Shield's always there. He's got this really tanky build. I'm struggling to see how LG Direwolves are going to be dealing with that.
And even if they're going to try to position themselves to get closer to Zeus, they have to worry about level 20 on Oceans, having the Deathbringer complete. He's just going to melt anybody that's trying to hurt MLC stealth here.
On top of that, the big baby just stomping you down.
5, 1, and 6 is Cyclone Spin. He's doing a great job in the mid to late game here. 24 minutes on the clock. Allegiance with a 10-kill lead, extending their goal lead now to 7,000. So already trying to advance to day number 2.
We mentioned before they do have a long road against NRG, but no matter which path you take, crazier things have happened in Smite. There is the curse of the number 1 seed.
Absolutely. It seems that Rowe wanted to go in, but it's going to be Richard Castle instead, finding 3 with the ultimate, pulling it 2, but now Weekend's going to split the team fight.
Diving on the backline now, Fear No Evil comes out, they're looking for Oceans here, but a great sentry keeps him alive as Weekend picks up 1, Oceans picks up Rowe, only 3 members of LG Direwolves here, Cheetah forced to jump away, Kiki Amiru between 5 here, no escape for him, he's going to fall down, Cyclone gets another kill, the solo laner from Allegiance has shown up this game, and he's showing up LG Direwolves.
Look at all the health pools out of Allegiance. It's low, but nobody died because of all the lack of magical damage. That's going to be 4 for nothing now. Allegiance did not done yet. They don't want Fire Giant. They know they can easily peel away this mid-Phoenix. They could even go left here if they wanted to, but I think a safer way would be for Fire Giant. They're trying to go for the edge here. They recognize that they have the advantage. Big Baby comes out of Cyclops with a double knockup from Oshida. And that's it.
Wow.
They qualify for day number 2. Allegiance are your victors.
That is incredible. We saw the spicy Nike Mythic coming out from Oshida on LG Direwolves. They got the early pressure, but they just didn't capitalize on it.
Not at all. They found the invade earlier on the red buff, but they didn't extend it to multiple red buff invades. It just didn't seem that the Ares pick really worked out for them in combination with the Ymir. It just seemed that the get from Polar Bear Mike was a little too strong.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, and I'm sad to not see LG Direwolves go home without really showing Ochita's incredible ability off in that mid roll. But all credit to Allegiance. What an amazing game by them.
They're just monsters, honestly, at this point. To be able to bounce back after losing to Lich at such a rate, so just one honestly, being able to adjust mentally, it's not an easy task, and you can tell the veterans there, they bounced back, they didn't worry about that last loss,
This is my opening game.
under the rug, getting ready for
You
LG
know,
Direwolves.
I
And
got
now
the
mid
Smite
stage,
championships
now
playing in the
having to make
background.
Just
You know, my
incredible
favorite player
performance there from
weekend
Team
playing,
Noobish.
who
Really,
just
this is the
won.
kind of performance we expected out of them from the
So,
start of this
you know,
competition. We're going to throw it to the analysts
subscribe
now
for
and
the
tell us
new
what you saw.
viewers. I don't have no viewers,
Thank you
but
so
I'm
much,
new.
guys.
So,
And Allegiance live to fight another day as they
yeah,
face off
so
NRG tomorrow.
I'll be playing with
It's going to
friends
be 100% a matchup to take a
and
look
others.
at. But let's talk about the match that
So,
just passed.
peace.
Direwolves